All right. All right. That's good. That's good. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yes. Yes. What up, people? How y'all doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. What's going on? What y'all doing? Anybody up? I know, man. I know. Wow. Okay. Let me make sure we're live on Facebook and YouTube. Still a couple of people on YouTube that watch the show. Not many. I've done my best. I've done my best on YouTube and Facebook, man. Yo, what's up, man? What up, Johnsons? How y'all doing, Johnsons? All right. Alex, what's up, man? What's cracking, Alex? How you doing, Suzanne? What's the goings on, people? Woo! Woo. What a night, man. What a night. YouTube, what's going on, guys? What's happening? What's up, Will? What's up, D? What is happening? I got them mad, y'all. I have them pissed off. Boy, you don't like them when they're angry. You wouldn't like to make them angry. They are angry, Johnson. And I told him, man. I told him very simple. I said, look, don't lie to me. That's all. Like, don't lie to me and make room. They would not do it. They would not do it. So now they got to pay. They got to keep paying, Johnson. So, if you're new to the show, this is a Tim Black Show, and on Tuesdays and Fridays, we do what most shows don't do. We do something very unique. We take phone calls. I know that's some strange stuff, ain't it? It's like, what? Yeah. We actually open up a phone line. People can hear us and we can hear them, right? I mean, if their phones, got a good connection. And yeah, people talk. I know it's not, like on the bleeding edge of technology. In fact, we've had the capability in this country readily available, mostly inexpensively, for the last decade. But most people don't take advantage of it because they don't want to let people talk. They don't know how to react to people saying stuff to them. And they got a very scripted type thing they do. I like unscripted. Yeah, that's where we separate, the novices from the experienced. Yeah, unexpected. I like it like, what's going to happen, y'all? I don't even know. I'm one of those people that like to go on to work and be some new shit happen that day. Now, nobody wants an active shooter, but you know what I'm saying. I'm here for it. So we got these people, man, and it's great. We got the Tim Black Wolfpack in the house. Good up for my people that support the show. Without them, there is no show. What's popping right now for the Tim Black Show? For the Tim Black Wolfpack, for the Johnsons, all the Johnsons, and we are all Johnson here. It's Pause with Tim Black. Pause. That's my new show. So if you go to timblackpause.com, you can follow the podcast version. You can watch the video version on YouTube and on Facebook. Yeah, it's on Facebook too. And that's getting so much buzz, y'all. I think we got a winner, Johnson. Winner, chicken dinner. Winner, chicken. Do I have I got to bring my board over. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Got to bring the board over, Johnson. Yeah. So, it's a beautiful thing. A lot to do on our own. We do it anyway. Yo, what's up with Haiti taking hostages? Yo. That seemed kind of strange that happened Right after we were feeling, like, oh man, we start feeling a little bad, Even some lefties, so-called progressives, covered it for a couple seconds. What happened with the Haitians at the border? Some people pretended to care about it for like 2 seconds, and then they went and kidnapped a bunch of missionaries and demanded $17 million, and all the goodwill and empathy went out the window. Look, Johnson, I'm back. Look, see? Look, y'all. Am I the only one who's like, wow, how convenient? How convenient. Isn't that amazing, the timing? I wonder, Johnson. I wonder. Come on, I'm not the only person that wondered that, am I? I'm not the only one. Sorry, guys, I got a no-fly list. No-fly list. Okay, so, yeah, I'm not the only one that noticed this thing and was like, wow, what's going on, Johnson? What is happening? So, I just thought it was kind of strange and kind of like coincidental. Kind of coincidental how that happened. Like right next to each other. You know what I'm saying? Because Haiti's been going through a lot for a long time. But like just right now. So, yeah. We got a lot happening. Context Matters. Thank you, Context Matters. Will twice in the house. Give it up for my supporters of the show. So, anybody see my Ruth Bader Ginsburg video? Anyone else see that? Oh, I love what I did. Man, I love so much that I know my point of view. And I love the fact that I'm so consistent in my point of view. Yeah, like, it's a beautiful thing. You see it, you call it, and you don't bow to anybody else's, like, shit. Like, so here's the deal, guys. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I was never like, wow, feminism. I was never on that to begin with. I don't know why. I don't know why these people, I don't know who these people are. But I just never really talked about her. Because by and large, me being a black man, who, when you don't talk about black people, I kind of tune you out. I mean, here's the thing. Someone said to me, you were bigging up Colin Powell, General Colin Powell, because, but you criticized Ruth Bader Ginsburg. And that's bullshit. It's just one of my vanilla haters who got butthurt because I called out Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Never said anything other than Colin Powell that he was a nice guy when I met him. Too bad he's a war criminal and killed a lot of people, responsible for a lot of death. Bam! Bam! I thought like that's a pretty good analogy. See what it is. This is how it works, Johnson. And look, Tim Black's Wolfpack, my true supporters, you need to hear this. This is what a lot of conservatives and progressives, and this is what they have in common, if they are white. And there's some black ones who are just stupid too. They love for black people to go after black people. Yeah, they don't, to them, they don't see race, right? Until it's black person standing next to a white person. Then they see race like a motherfucker. Till they get on the elevator or some shit. Or until they gotta be like, well, who's the better? Go with what I know. Happens all the time. And if I'm not telling the truth, what the fuck are these corny ass sound the same? Why are they so successful? You guys with the Scooby-Doo van, the pickle dude, why are they successful? In what world? Like, black people, we all know what I'm talking about, right? So they're not happy unless I'm shitting all over General Colin Powell on the day of his death. I just said he was responsible for a lot of death. I just said he was a war criminal. What else am I supposed to say? Oh, I know what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be like one of those sellout type black dudes who run his name all through the dirt. Meanwhile, motherfuckers are fine with George Bush. No. And I'm supposed to shut the fuck up about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That's what I'm supposed to do. Because for some strange reason, I don't know what the fuck that is, some reason I'm supposed to care that that's your hero. I don't care. If you're not a hero, this is what you got to understand. If you're not a hero to black folks, for me, you ain't shit. If you ain't helping black policies that help black people, you ain't shit. That's just how I see it. Look, that's my point of view. I understand if you don't have that point of view. I love how people go on and on about international politics, on and on about atrocities across the globe. We got atrocities in America you don't talk about. So they like talking about shit they can do nothing about. They don't want to talk about black women dying giving childbirth. 3 times more likely for a black woman to die on a delivery table. You won't hear these motherfuckers mention a peep about it because they don't care about it. Because then they got to realize that what's different? They're black. That's what's different. And it jumps to 4 to 5 times more likely when they're over 30. I'm not, these are just facts. We could talk about job discrimination. We talked about labor discrimination on my other show on Pause. You should check it out. We could talk about environmental justice. Our water's dirty. Our air's dirty. It's filthy from toxins. They illegally dump toxins in our neighborhoods. Our plumbing's fucked up. There's so much wrong in black America. Our schools are jacked up. Its criminal justice system is biased. There's so much wrong. They won't talk about it. They don't give a shit. But let me start talking about something going on in Pakistan. Oh, we need to do this and we need to do that. And oh, if you don't do this, you are supporting war. You support death and war right in your own borders, motherfucker. So shut up. Shut up. Give it up for that. See, we keep having these conversations. Oh, guys, I got so many haters. They hate. They got somebody that can't buy off. They can't pay me off. You can't lure me off. You can't dangle. Hey, you could go on this show and this person will help you get your numbers up. All numbers ain't good numbers. I don't want to go on your show. I don't want to kick it with you. I don't want your audience. I don't want your problems. Why? So I can get 5,000 corny David Pakman fans or some other corny vanilla type white dudes fans following me just so they can be disappointed when I champion for black issues and they get mad and butthurt because I talk about black issues and they want to hear about issues that affect America because they don't consider black people American. They don't. They don't. I know all your favorite YouTubers. I know them personally. See, it's a problem. I'm a problem. Because I have credibility, experience, and I've had great guests. So I'm a problem to them. I'm a rock in the shoe of all these corny ass progressive ass YouTube media, whatever they are. The only reason why they are able to exist and avoid catastrophic destruction is that they got a bunch of bigots who watch them who don't give a fuck. Yeah, because in America, it doesn't matter if you give a fuck about black people or not. You always got some sellouts, like you got the equivalent of Candace Owens and Larry Elders coming on their show defending them. I don't see a difference. I don't see a difference, man. So it's easy for them. Ruth Bader Ginsburg said some things that you would hear Trump say. She was like, They should just be happy they live in America. What's the problem? They'd be protesting. It's really stupid to protest. She literally said they're stupid and dumb. It's very dumb. I mean, there's no rule, there's no law against being dumb. She sounded worse than Bill Maher. She sounded like Bill Maher. Look, she was 80-something years old, giving an interview. She did not have two fucks to give. She did not care. She said how she felt. So, and I responded about how I felt. Now, I could have went ham. Hey, y'all. Bruh. I could have went ham on that Bama. I did not go ham on that Bama. I could have dropped a bunch of F-bombs and some more shit. I was very respectful. But that's not gonna mean being respectful doesn't mean I lie for you. Being respectful doesn't mean I pretend not to think what I think or know what I know or read what I read. What's the good of reading what I read if I'm going to pretend I didn't read it just so that you can feel better about it? Ruth Bader Ginsburg sounded like Trump. And you supposed to hate Trump. But see, we're the expendable people, aren't we, Johnson? I'm sorry. Like, I want a moment to talk to all my black progressives still caught in the matrix thinking that those people that say they're your friends are their friends. They're not your friends, Johnson. I'm sorry, you're black first. And though the world treats you, all of America treats you like you're black first. But in your little bubble circle that you're in or whatever this is, you have bought into the idea that you're progressive first. This is stupid. I made that mistake and got the fuck out. You should do the same. Now, I'm not going to tell you there's anywhere to walk to because there isn't. I mean, that unless we start it, maybe we should start something. Maybe we should start some new shit, right? Because what's going on now ain't working. Look, man, any self-respecting black person that knows what I'm talking about, put a 1 in the chat. Also, if you know what I'm talking about and you're not black, that's okay too. Because the fact that you're aware of this says a lot. So if you understand what I'm saying, put a 1 in the chat. Because the lies must cease. James Baldwin says, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced. I'm not a Joe Rogan fan. Hell, I don't even like the fact that Dave Chappelle kicks it with this dude. In fact, Dave Chappelle loses cool points with me because he kicks it with Joe Rogan so much. He just does, man. But that doesn't mean I like what they did to him when they lied to him, lied about the horse dewormer. That doesn't mean I support lying on people. I don't support CNN lying on Joe Rogan about this ivermectin, okay? But here's the thing, guys. There was some conversation on it on The View about Joe Rogan and Sanjay Gupta going on there from CNN and all this stuff. Listen. First of all, you should be able to not be a fan of someone, but still have the clarity to be okay, call it as you see it, to call a ball, a strike, call a foul. A rabbit punch. Below the belt. Like, you should be able to call balls and strikes and speak up and speak truth to power regardless of who's doing it, right? So, but here's the thing that I think people get wrong. It's not that people are in their own little silos and in their own echo chambers. We got a lot of people that say that stuff. It's not true. Part of the problem with the internet is the algorithms. You know how hard it is to get out of your echo chamber? All these social media sites are built to keep you in what you enjoy watching. Yeah, they try to give you more of what you already watched. That's their job. That's how they're designed. It's not a person deciding, hey, let's give this person a vast array of political opinions. This is why my struggle is so hard. I'm trying to reach people that think like me, but since I was in a group of people that think a certain way, it's been taking me over a year to get away because all the algorithm wants to do is send my content to the people that used to like me. So it's very difficult to get to new people. That's all they do. And they send my content to people that used to like the people that I used to know. Because that's the way the algorithm is set up. The algorithm is set up to continue to feed somebody whatever they engage with the most. That's what they do. So this whole idea that people choose to stay in silos, that people are just choosing, and maybe they would just choose. Maybe it takes too much deliberate action to go find new content, to seek out different sources. But if you expect that to pop up on people's home screens, it's not. If you're expected to pop up on their home threads or on their timelines, it's just not. That's not how the internet works. And we got people that don't understand that, blaming individuals at home who don't control what falls in front of their screen. The algorithm does that. So all I'm saying is, when you're discussing the problem with America, which you're discussing the problems with information technology and the way people think, and how everybody, all these people on this side, all these people on this side, and I keep hearing this out of the mouth of every politician, you have to understand the technology and how the technology works. They don't understand the technology. You don't have to choose to be in an echo chamber. Twitter will put you there. Facebook will put you there. YouTube will put you there. Reddit will put you there. All these social media sites put you in a group and say, this is the type of content this person likes, send them more of it. That's what they do. That's what happens. When you go to Netflix, they do it. Netflix sends you movies just like the movie you just saw. They try to guess, okay, based on what you already saw, what you watched longest, we're sending you more of that. The only way to break it is to go somehow find new shit. And that's really hard to do, because how can you find something that you don't know is out there? You gotta be like Christopher Columbus and discover some shit that's already discovered. This is the problem. It's a problem, Johnson. It's like magic. So I've been trying to stumble out of my comfort zone, or should I say my jail cell, right? And I was disappointed, man. It's hard as hell to get out. All of us basically know the same people. Do you realize how many people there are out there speaking truth to power? They're everywhere. They have to be. I can't find them. You know why I can't find them? They don't want me to find them. They want me to continue. They want to continue to put the same people. I've had to tell YouTube several times, please, don't show me this shit no more. I don't want it. I gotta say, never again send me this shit. Never, ever. Just to try to find. And they don't replace it with what I want, because they don't ask me what I want. They just keep finding more people like the person they got rid of. That's what they do. Tim, what is going on, bruh? It's annoying as hell is what's going on, man. It really is annoying. A lot of people are so happy that Jon Stewart's back. Great, another rich white guy. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Another rich white guy. What I do like about Jon Stewart, at least he had his own point of view. It's not like he comes out and says what everyone else says. So that part I do like. I prefer him, but hey, who am I, There need to be more Tim Blacks, frankly. That's who I really prefer. I prefer myself. Oh, I prefer myself over them because I'm going to talk about black issues. There you go. I'm going to talk about black issues from a black perspective, and who's not afraid to get fired and does not have to ask a white person, hey, is it okay for us to talk about this? You're not going to fire me, are you? Am I still going to be able to feed my children? Please help me out. It's a beautiful thing. Now, the pay sucks, but you have freedom. And freedom is very important. If your chosen job is to enlighten the masses, it's the only way you're going to be able to do it in America, because America wants to shut us up, Johnson. They want us to shut up and dribble. They want us to shut up and die quietly. It's not enough that our babies die young, that we live shorter lives, that we are more hospitalized, more chronically ill, end up getting shot in the ass by cops. They just found out that half the murders that we were having from cops, that there was a whole other half of them that weren't even being reported. It's twice as bad, at least twice as bad as we thought it was. And damn it, we had just started convincing white folks that it was a problem. Jesus Christ. Then we found the problem's twice as bad as we thought. Guess what? New people with the pencils and pens adding up the numbers. Black people already knew it was twice as bad. Shit, it's 5 times as bad. So it is what it is, Gans Johnson. It is what it is. We got a lot of poverty in America. Did they sort out this bill, this infrastructure bill yet? Is that sorted out? They still talking about Joe Manchin. I don't even cover that shit anymore. I figure everyone's covering that. You want to hear about Joe Manchin, you can go watch like anything on mainstream TV. They're going to tell you about that. Like, that's not what I don't want to see. That's the beauty of knowing my audience. Like, if you can get that anywhere, throw a rock and you hit somebody right in the back of the fucking head who's talking about cinema or Manchin. As if the rest of these Democrats are so progressive. Like, they're the only bad ones, right? Yeah, right. like we got a bunch of fucking Malcolm X's and Martin Luther Kings in the Democratic Party. And it's just, damn, we just got damn Cinema and Joe Manchin in a way, stopping them from, doing all this great reform measures. Yeah, they would fix the black community. Just make sure we had clean water and get us all jobs and actually have targeted programs that help black people, as opposed to programs where they say they help black people, but they really help white people, and then we get leftovers. And then for the next 20 years, we got to hear white people tell us that we take handouts. Well, that's what happens. You have no idea how frustrating that is, by the way. To actually know who benefits from these programs, who got the money, where the bulk of the benefits went to, and to have a bunch of conservatives and liberals act like we squandered some opportunity or something. It's crazy as hell. It's really crazy. The fact that black people just are running down the street just screaming, ah! And pissing on the walls and smearing feces on the, on the White House steps. I mean, it's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, damn, that's amazing, man. We are a miracle. I tell you what they're really scared of. America's scared of they're scared black people and poor white people might link up. But as long as poor white people stay as racist as they are, they ain't gonna have to worry about that shit. See, that's where they send in the racist motherfuckers to keep the poor white people racist as hell. Yeah, that's how they win. Cause see, in a country where there's no anti-lynching bill, that's why they won't pass it. Look, they won't pass the anti-lynching bill that we've needed in America forever to protect black people. They won't pass it because they don't want us to get along. Man, because some good old white boys, man, if they ever, man, shit. That's the last thing America wants. Now there goes your regime change. There goes your revolution. It ain't Bernie Sanders at 85 years old ushering in a new way of doing politics. It's poor white people finally getting out of their racist ways, getting out of their own damn way, realizing they are fucked and they will never be rich. Not because they're slow, but because America don't want them to be rich. They got to have bottom white people too. So If they ever linked up, we ever linked up between black people that are we got 40 million black people, about 25 million, 30 million of them are struggling. If those 30 million hooked up with the 40 million white people that are fucked who don't realize it, well, half of them don't realize it. They blame the poor black people. They're so stuck in the time warp. We got new niggas now. But if those people ever linked up, those groups ever linked up, that's your revolution. Nah, it ain't some evangelist coming down, saving the baby, saving the whales. You dropping a couple coins in the collection box every Sunday. That ain't gonna change it, man. No, that's not gonna change it. It's no new third party, motherfucker. That ain't gonna change it. What's gonna change it is if those groups ever get together. That would change it. And that's why they are diametrically opposed to seeing that shit happen. That's why we got the current videos. You make so much money. And I like a good current video. They're worth a whole lot. Those current videos are the most popular, one of the most popular genres of video content on the internet. The current video took place of the knockout video. Remember knockout videos where people just get knocked in the fucking face? Remember that? There used to be World Star. Those videos don't do nowhere near the numbers that the current videos do. And you know why they allow it? So they started banning the punch in the face videos. But you can play a current video anywhere. No one bans that. You know why? Because that keeps us separated. That keeps white people and black people beefing. And that's good because once again, if black people and white people ever got together, oh shit. And I'm not talking about the limousine liberals. I'm not talking about the elitists, right? I'm not talking about conservatives eating high off the hog who look down their nose at poor white people. No, I'm not talking about them either, because those people exist too. So I'm acting like all conservatives are broke. These rhinos. So we got a lot going on here. When people don't like it, they don't want it, they know what's going to happen. They can see through it. They see the problem. It's not going to be somebody speaking perfectly good English, doing all the proper stuff, wearing a three-piece suit. And just, no, it's going to be a motherfucker like me, talking like this, keeping it 100, calling out the bullshit, and that's how you get leverage. That's it. And they don't want that. That is their doomsday, Johnson. That's their doomsday. That's when they bomb you. Man. Whoa. Woo. Man, this is Conspiracy Night on the Tim Black Show, ain't it? But I think I'm on to something here. I got to smooth out the edges, you know what I'm saying? But I think I'm on to something. I really do, Johnson. I really do. It's just like, I don't just look at what happens. I look at the timing of it, the coincidences, the ironic. Oh man, wow! That's amazing how that happened right there, all on its own. So you ain't got to run to your echo chamber. Your echo chamber comes and captures you. That's what happens. Oh shit! You click on one thing, and then for the next week, that's all you get. All you get. Is that you choosing to be in your echo chamber? Nah. Facebook said they're going to rebrand themselves, give themselves a new name. I don't know. What could you change your name to? Facebook? Oh, I know. The lying stealing app. Steal app. You know. Scumbag app. Scumbag. They want to be more descriptive of who they really are. Facebook owes me money. I ain't gonna. Hey, look, Facebook, you ain't gonna be right with me until you pay me, motherfuckers. Lawsuit is sitting on your desk in Servina, whatever that is, California right now. You gotta get a process server to serve. You're not angry. I get that a poor ass channel like this has to sue Facebook over money. that I don't. I gotta get money I don't have to sue Facebook for money I know they have. And the worst thing about it is, I know they owe me because they told me they owe me. They like send you a receipt before they pay you and say, hey, we owe you this. This is what we'll send you. And they never send it. I'm like, you never sent my money. They go, well, we changed our mind. We don't want to pay you. I said, but you already ran your ads. Then they cut off conversation. Well, you're no longer eligible for ad revenue. I said, well, okay, pay me for what you owe me from when you did run ads. Then they go, silence. So I got to pay money I don't have to file a lawsuit to get my money back that they already have, that they have billions of dollars. And I have to fight them. Well, that's going to go really well, Johnson. Well, the hell with it. I'm going to fight them anyway because it's a principle. It's the principalities. All right. Can we just go to phone calls? Yeah, man, I'm getting all worked up about nothing. Man, this is all a bunch of hooey. It's some bullshit, man. Oh, it really is. I'm over here just, look, guys, I appreciate you being here. I'm obviously going through a lot of shit here. Appreciate you hanging out with a brother, you know what I'm saying? Next time, bring liquor. Bring liquor and weed or something. If you're going to come over, stop over, bring something with you, man. Don't just assume I got all the good snacks. Come on now. You come through, bring snacks, man. You know what I'm saying? You know? All right. Let's do this. You guys ready? I have a couple people hanging out. I got a 202 number in the queue. 202. 202, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Yo, what up? I can't hear you, brother.
202, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
202.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I can't hear you, brother.
Yeah, this is Greg Calloway. I'm calling from Washington, D.C.
Greg, what's up, brother? What's happening?
How you doing, man? I'm a first-time caller.
Well, you good, Greg? What's
I
up?
love the show, man.
Hey, thank you, brother. Do me a favor. Cut down that other device you got me playing on, brother. You got an echo going on.
Okay, all right. Is that better?
Yeah, much better, brother. You good. Go ahead now.
Yeah, man, I love the show, man.
Thank you, brother.
I'm 63 years old. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm staying in veteran housing right now. And if it wasn't for veteran housing, I'd probably be on the street. But I just want to say that my most racial experiences that I've ever had in my life have been in the military. And I was ambushed at 17 years old by 5 white Marines at Camp Pendleton back in the 70s. I was a young 17-year-old Marine going out here to love my country and like they say in the military, everybody's green. Everybody's green. Everybody's green. And ever since that experience, I just look at this whole thing as a sham and a scam, you know. And ever since that event, man, it was like a PTSD experience for me, being chased around the barracks by 5 big white boys at Camp Pendleton back in the 70s. Here I am, a young 17-year-old, and I will always look at the military as being, you know, fake, you know, racist bullshit, you know. And somebody told me a story. Somebody told me a story about 8 or 9 months ago, and it went like this. Did you know that 9 months after the Civil War, the North and the South got together. Both of them got together, and they conspired against the blacks. And there's no way that we could be in this poor shape financially, mentally, without them hitting us from both sides. Now, this Democrat Republican game, they've been playing this all the way back 9 months after the Civil War. That's why they changed parties so many different times. And I mean, why can't we see? I mean, we see through it, but the whole scam is they want you to believe somebody is on your side. And I'm here to tell you, we ain't got we ain't got nobody but us. And I'm 63 years old, and all this fake Democrat Republican bullshit going back and forth, trying to make you believe that somebody's gonna do something for you. It's like you said, brother. We are a miracle. We are a miracle because ain't nobody gave us a damn thing. And you can go back to the Homestead Act, and they've been given every damn thing. Every damn thing. That's why they so quick to say that we begging and wanting handouts, because they know damn well they have been given every goddamn thing, from right down from the first little piece of acre of land that this country was built on. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'd rather be on the side of truth. I can look at myself in the mirror and I can say I study scripture with history together. And see, that's the whole thing. For a long time, they brought us up on this old fake religion bullshit. But see, you have to study. This is how you find yourself. You study scripture with history, because that's how you can fit the pieces of the puzzle together. And that's how we found out that we're the real Israelites, man. I mean, that's how we found out. That's how you can find out exactly who you are. And I'm gonna tell you, brother, I love your show. I love your show, man, and I love black people, and I will never blame my people, and I don't give a damn what they do. I will never. And people say, well, black people, they commit crimes, they kill people, they murder people, and blah blah. I said, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I will never take the side. I will never go against my own. I will never take the side of my oppressor. And I will, and I'll live, and I'll die, and I'll go without. I'll eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for the rest of my damn life if I have to. But I tell you, I feel good when I look at myself. When I look at myself in the mirror, I feel good. I feel good about who I am.
My brother.
When I look at myself in the mirror. And I'm going to tell you, man, I love your show.
Thank you, Greg.
Keep on doing what you're doing. Listen, we got to go out. We got to go out on the side of truth. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, and when people hate me, I consider it a badge of honor and a badge of courage.
There it is.
You know what I'm saying? Because Scripture says, know that they hated. Scripture says that the servant is not greater than his Lord. So if they hated my Lord, you know they're going to hate me too. And I embrace the hate. Embrace the hate, baby.
Embrace the hate. I'll give it up for my caller, man. I got to leave it there, brother. But I give it up for Greg, my caller, man. He said, embrace the hate. Embrace the hate. That's all you can do, man. I agree that that's all you can do. I think that's a healthy way to look at it. Wow, you said a lot there, Greg, man. And I understand exactly where you're coming from. Now, when it comes to violence, right? When it comes to black people hurting black people, you know, they like to say, black on black crime. They know to say that type of stuff, man. Here's the deal. All groups hurt each other. You hurt who you around. I don't know about y'all, but I look at it like this. Most people who commit crimes are not well off. Unless it's that white collar crime. We ain't gonna talk about that. Because you know when they do white collar crime, it's white people hurting white people. Like this whole opiate addiction, what you call that shit? Woo, that's the biggest white collar crime, white on white crime in the world, ain't it? In the history of man, right? But you'll never hear them phrase it. White on white crime. But who do you think these mofos is hurting most? We know who they hurting most because that's why they want to change laws and make it now an illness. Wasn't no illness when it was crack cocaine, was it? Decimating our neighborhoods. But that's what, that's so it's it was the straight up thugs and what they call them super predators. Well, that whole opiate addiction thing, we know there's some super predators behind that, but they won't frame it as color because they don't demonize white people against themselves. Now, a white person could go shoot 50 people in a nightclub, or shoot up at a concert or whatever, and they'll never call it white on white crime. It'll never be called that. But look, man, anyone who's a victim of crime, a victim of violence, that's a painful thing and that's a tough thing, and I never want to minimize that. But what I like to do is try to get to the root cause of what created that situation. And when you lock people out of opportunity, people do things to survive. And I think that's part of the problem. I think anywhere in the world that you go to where there's poverty and there's lack of opportunity, you will find some crime. And that doesn't matter where it is. It doesn't matter what country you're in. It doesn't matter what color the people are. If people lack opportunity, if people lack the ability to take care of themselves or access to resources, you're going to find crime. But, man, I appreciate you, Greg. I'm sorry to hear about what they did to you in service, brother. Yeah, I've been told stories about military life and incidents, racial incidents. And, I'm going to move on, but thank you so much, Greg. I want to thank you, brother, for calling up and sharing your story, my friend. I appreciate it. 786 is in the house. 786, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Can't hear you. Okay, we're going to have to let that one go, man. I don't know what that was. That's crazy. I don't know what that is, what that was right there. That right there, that's not good. That don't sound right. What was that? What was that, Johnson? What was that? Come on now. I'm going to go to the next call. 720. 720, you're live. What's your name? What is your comment?
My name is Frank Sturgill. I've called before on professional licensing, and I sent you a couple of emails I hope you got over the past week, and one just today, so I don't know if you've had time to read it, but I wanted to talk about the corruption and racism that is inherent in professional licensing. I'm trying to track on the real estate appraisers here in Colorado, and which has a long history of racism, of suppressing some neighborhoods and jacking up others artificially. So I asked the state auditor, when's the last time they audited the real estate appraisers board and its license, and it's never been audited in its entire history, and it's been over 100 years. And I asked what the demographics were, even though they're mandated by law to publish demographics. They refuse to do it because there's so much racism in there, and I know they cheat on those exams. I know a friend that actually has started a college to train people on these exams. They took away his license, and they failed him 4 straight times, even though he's taught the test before. So I know they cheat on exams and all these professional licenses do. So I'm I'm really wondering how to make this a national conversation, because that's where the economy is rigged. That's where we get redlining from these state boards, and there's not enough talk about it.
Okay, brother. Well, thank you for the phone call. I would suggest. All right. Well, I would suggest that the avenues that you should take would be to write an article, put that article out on Medium and other platforms where you can put that type of documentation on, and also go on like an ad campaign in order to get the word out. And that's the only thing I can suggest, frankly. Calling up to my show is probably not the best way to spread awareness about it. I think you'd have to go sort of grassroots and talk to some organizations that function in that capacity, and see if there's other groups working on that issue. Just thinking off the top of my head, that's probably the way that I would go about it if I had some type of proof or information, as opposed to calling up randomly here and hoping that the audience here will carry that message. But calling here doesn't hurt anything. I mean, you can call here. I just think the best way to do it would be as I described earlier. But thank you for the phone call, my brother. I got a 919 number in the house. 919, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's good, man? Can you hear me?
Yes, who's this?
Hey, bro, how's it going? This is Josh.
What's up, brother?
Hey, what's good, man? Just want to call back in. First off, I watched the live stream from last time, and I do want to apologize. I did not mean to rant as long as I did in terms of not pausing and stuff like that. Just want to, again, just to you and the audience in general, I do apologize for that. But just to the topic tonight, man, I will say that caller, not the one just a minute ago, but before, who was discussing the military, he really reminded me a bit of my grandfather, who also served in Vietnam, and unfortunately came back with a lot of trauma from that. Still really hasn't recovered from. And he and a lot of others in my life, it really kind of is a perfect symbolic nature of how I think just as a people, we make sacrifices consistently for this country. We make sacrifices just in general to be a part of the quote unquote greater good, and really get the short end of the stick in so many ways. Just when it comes to things like, at least in this particular case, I guess with him, drug addiction and all of these things that we do to try to cope from these problems that were caused by our government, by a lot of the people in power here. And you consistently keep seeing this theme of, if it's us, it's a harsh, a harsh way of dealing with it, and almost trying to act as if all of these things have been self-inflicted. And you really kind of see that with a lot of these talking heads, especially the Candace Owens types and Larry Elders. Just want to kind of give this notion that just black people are inherently evil and want to hurt each other. And it's really frustrating sometimes to have to deal with it, because you then see it kind of wrapped in all of this really fancy language that I'm now seeing I'm having to push back against in my own generation sometimes, with people that want to turn this into an intellectual thing. Well, perhaps, it is a 50-50 argument where perhaps we did cause these problems to ourselves. And it's as you point 1,000 times, it's not a 50-50. It is a 100 and 0 from a historical perspective. I mean, yes, there are small things here and there that we as a people can at times not do the best, but I don't think that a group needs to be spotless or whatever in order to be considered human and equal. And so, just to the point you mentioned with the politicians earlier, it's frustrating to see that across the political spectrum, we really are still seen as a commodity. we're seen either as a group that can jure up hatred on the right. Of course, you see that 1,000 times. That's just an old playbook that keeps on giving, unfortunately. And then on the quote unquote left, you see us, which again, with your own experience that I witnessed across the years of, we will be kind enough to you if you will take a back seat to the rest of these issues that will lift all boats, quote unquote. But you don't really ever get a turn or an actual place. And I don't know, man. I guess you discuss this all the time, but what would you say is the best short-term solution collectively? I guess that's a loaded question, of course, but I really sat down earlier today and just was depressed by a lot of the things I've been seeing just this year in particular, but just a culmination of things overall. And I don't know, just kind of want your thoughts in terms of how what is one simple task I think that you think we all could do to at least slow down that paradigm from going forward. That's all I would say, man. Thanks again for
All right, Josh.
your show, and I again apologize for this stuff.
Give it up for Josh, man. No problems, Josh. No problem at all. No problem. Well, if I can, I'd like to address the issue you talked about with the veterans, man. And and my dad, my biological dad was a Vietnam veteran, and he, as you stated, came back from Vietnam with a host of issues, PTSD and other issues that he never truly overcame in his lifetime, and a part of his demise, I should say. And I remember growing up, and I didn't know him when I was growing up, so I met him like once or twice. And my mom purposely did not want him in my life due to his drug addiction and other issues that he had when he came back from Vietnam. But I just remember growing up, and I was very close to going into the armed forces myself. We took the ASVAB test, me and a couple friends, and it's just lack of opportunity. And this is how they do, and this is not just something I've experienced. I mean, across America, that's what they do. They put these recruitment centers in black neighborhoods, in poor neighborhoods, knowing that kids don't have many alternatives. And the lack of alternatives are built into this system, right? So there's jail, there's armed services. And there you go, right? You can go you can become a, what can you do? I mean, lack of opportunity leads you down only gives you a couple roads. Some people got lucky, they play sports, right? I'm just being realistic. I don't think most people who join I don't know most young black people that I knew who joined the armed forces, I don't think they did it for reasons of trying to lift up America and trying to, patriotic reasons. I think they did it for survival reasons is why they did it. Not having a true pathway forward in life that looked like it was promising. And then if you go in armed services, you join the Army, Navy, Marines, you have an opportunity to get an education, you get a job, and you got a career path. And so I think that's a trick. And as we know, they camp out on the doorsteps in rural cities all across this country, do the same thing to poor white kids. Lure poor white kids into the service. Now, maybe their relationship to America is a little bit different, so maybe to some of them it's a little different, but I wouldn't know. I still think, by and large, not having a lot of opportunity will lead one to consider armed services. Well, so I think that's a huge draw. And I think America wants it that way. I mean, America is so big, guys. This is the thing. When I look at America, Josh, and I don't know if this answers your question, but I'll answer you this, bro. America's so rich. that I believe any problem that we have, America wants us to have it. Like, if America, because we're not talking about your individual problems, but anything that's a systemic problem that affects multiple amounts of people, large amounts of people, that's because that's the way the system wants it. You can't tell me a country that can put a man on the moon, build a space force that can, assist other countries with to the tunes of multiple millions and millions and hundreds of millions of dollars is somehow incapable of solving problems that exist in your state, in West Virginia or in New Jersey, right? Come on, man. But for some reason, there are people in America who don't get that concept. And instead of saying, hey, how are we helping these countries? But we can't help. That's because racism is a great tool, right? Racism and patriotism are great tools to use against citizens to vote against their own best interests and to promote against their own best interests and to blame fellow citizens for problems of government. And not just problems with government, but the purpose and the goals of government. So I hope that makes sense to you. That's where I come up on that. I'm going to go to the next call. Give it up for my caller, yo. Okay, I got a 318 number in the house. 318, you are live. 318, how you doing?
Okay, I got a 318 number in the house. 318, you are live.
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
318, how you doing?
Yay.
Yeah. Who's this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you and me, brother.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Who's this?
It is Alex.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to cut down your cut us down on that whatever you got us on. Yeah. Because I can hear my own voice. That's not good. There you go. Who's this now?
This is Alex. Alex.
All right, brother. What's up, Alan? Give me what's on your mind tonight, brother?
I just have a few things that I've been thinking about, and the veteran guy was speaking about the wars and stuff. And I was thinking about the Civil War in the American, the Civil War. Like when America go to other countries and they demolish the country or whatever, they fund that country, bring it back, get it back to a good standings, I guess. So I was asking this one guy, in the Confederate, what was the real reason behind the war? We all know slavery, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But I went to thinking, because, I'm part of Hurricane Katrina. And when I was down there in Hurricane Katrina, the stories on the news was way different than what was really happening. So I pondered this. I was like, when the Union fought the Confederates, they freed the slaves. I kind of was thinking, why didn't the Union, if slavery was bad and they was fighting to free black people from slavery, why didn't the Union take the money that they received from the Confederates to put black people in a better position than they was in, instead of asking the Confederates to support the black people? Like, they destroyed the infrastructure of the Confederates. They have the means and the money to destroy the infrastructure of the Confederates, which they were freeing black people, which they said that's what they was doing. Why didn't they fund black people and put them in a better position that they was in? That's one thing I was pondering. And I also was wondering when was the last time that America ever made any vaccines to cure a disease? And the reason why I asked that question is, back when slavery was going on, they did experiments on enslaved people. And when
All right, brother. Due to the nature of YouTube, I'm not going to have that conversation about any. Let's just go with the first part of your question, brother. Jesus Christ, man. Because I've received warnings from YouTube about discussing some other stuff. So let's just deal with the sort of the question you have about Civil War. Okay. I don't know what the school books will tell you about it, what the history books will tell you. But based on my understanding of how America works, and based on legislation and the politics of the era, I'm pretty sure that there would have been a major problem with those states joining back into to form the United States if those states would have ceded from the Union if the North would have compensated black folks. That's the last thing that they wanted to see happen. In fact, they were paying those states and those slave owners for losing their slaves. So whenever they went to the bargaining table and it had anything to do with black folks, we got the short end of the stick. And that was an agreement they came to. And that's the way it's been ever since. The reason why we don't have health care right now. Everyone talks about universal health care, universal health care. I've been talking about this for over a year. I see now that other people are talking about it occasionally. That's great. Maybe they were talking about it before this. I'm not saying I need to watch my words because I'm not the founder or the originator. People have been talking good shit about good things for a long time. All I'm saying is I don't look to see what other people are doing to come up with it. And my point is this, brother. People talk about universal health care. Some people call it Medicare for all as one, single payer as another. America could have had that. They've been wanting that for hundreds of years. They cannot get it because there are those who don't want black people to have it. What you got to understand is there are racist people in America and have always been racist people in America who would rather not have something than for black people to have it. Well, should I say this? They would rather not have something that poor white people take advantage of if it means black people get to get it too. So if you have money, you'll overpay for something as long as you know black people won't get it for free. Get what I'm saying? They'd rather pay for it and it be high as hell than allow for black people to get it for free. That's how racist America is. There are people who underestimate the racism in America. Those people have not been around America much. There are people who are very delusional about the embedded racism in America. They don't get it. And it seems like they get this little cheering section of people that go along with this for money. And a lot of the people that go along with it, and I've had long conversations, I've had what you would call internet beef in these internet streets about it. Bruh. If it benefits black people, there's a large amount of people who will not vote for it, who will not go with it, okay? The Southern strategy, brother, they rather burn it down. They rather watch white people die. But see, they don't say that. Oh, we'd rather have poor white people die. That's what happens. But since they don't say it, those white people are so blinded that they don't even get their sacrifice. Poor white people get sacrificed so that well-to-do white people can punish black people. It's the damnedest thing, bruh. But if you're asking me, why wouldn't they do something to help black people, bruh? Come on now, you know the answer to that. It starts with a B and ends with a K. Let's go to the next call. Come on now. Now, I got a 773 number in the queue. 773, what's your name? What's your comment?
Tim Black, how you living, bro?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, I can't even complain. It's Luke Kane. Just a few things real quick. the court system out in Georgia is claiming that they accidentally leaked Ahmaud Arbery's mental health records and his criminal background check to potential jurors. So I'm just trying to figure out what in the HIPAA violation is going on in Georgia, and somebody need to get fired. Like a whole bunch of people need to lose their jobs behind that. That's actually there should be criminal charges brought up for that, because they are pretty clearly trying to prejudice a jury pool. So we need to go ahead and get them up at the paint. And I know an earlier caller asked about some potential short-term collective solutions. A few that I would reference or recommend or would like to try out would be pooling of our resources to found our own schools. Unlike, Brother Dr. Umar, wrong person, we could actually build our schools up and go towards a more co-op style society within this country, and work on fostering relationships and trade deals with our indigenous fam as well as Black and brown folks overseas, because America has no intention of getting right. Not over their dead body, or rather the dead bodies of those who they employ to enforce white supremacy, like the cops in the military. But another short-term solution would be primary the entire DNC roster from the left with unapologetic blackness as your platform. If you really want to, people with this whole force to vote thing, if you really want to force the vote, like if you really want to force people into a corner to where they really can't, like where they're boxed in rhetorically and in a logic, Lincoln debate style type of muckety muck, push them on blackness, push them on reparations. Say, oh wait, so you trying to say black people don't deserve shit? Like, it's a lot harder for a Manchin or a Cinema or another mediocre white person XYZ in the Democratic Party to wiggle away from that than it is saying, oh, well, what, you think we shouldn't have Medicare for all? They'll come up with they have 10 million talking points ready for why they don't have to support Medicare for all. And so you ain't forcing the vote on shit with Medicare for all. I don't want to harp on that for too long. But meanwhile, a rat done bit my sister Nell, man, and Bezos on the move. And I bet they're going to try to put an Amazon warehouse up there. That's my guess. My guess is eventually they're going to try to put a warehouse up there and a mining operation so they can set up like a suborbital delivery system so you can get shit anywhere on the planet within 6 hours. And all you got to give up is, like your human rights if you sign up to be a worker up there. Because ain't nobody coming to get your black ass off the moon. We can't even get help out here. So you definitely ain't getting no help on the moon. But space law ain't even a thing yet. And if I'm not mistaken, the UN, their legal minds are kind of trying to brainstorm what the hell space law could and should even look like going forward, because with what where it looks like we're heading, this shit's gonna be necessary. And lastly, just people do seem to be befuddled by why America finds itself in the state it's in, and it's because they hate us that much. It's as you were alluding to earlier. Like, America hates us so much that they are willing and ready and willing to impoverish generations of white people if it means they can keep black folks as a permanent underclass that their Lord and Savior capitalism demands. Sacrifices to the money god, and I don't plan on being one of them. Reparations now, cut the fucking check.
My brother. What's up, Luke Kane? Thanks, brother. That's my dog. I had not heard about Georgia and Ahmaud Arbery's medical records being leaked to jurors. I will get up on that story, though, Luke King. I've been covering it. I guess today I missed it somehow. I'm speechless, brother. That's so atrocious, brother. That's so atrocious. But the only good thing about it is it's during the jury selection period, which means they have to find new jurors who haven't been prejudiced. That's it. So go forth. I know the first batch of jurors, it was like 600 jurors that were present the first day of jury selection. So give me fresh jurors. What can you do? What can you do, brother? I'm going to move on to 321. Hey, 321, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Mr. Black, John Clayton here.
What's on your mind, John?
I want to share. A different perspective. I grew up in the country, and the easiest opportunity right out of high school was to go in the military.
Yep.
And just like the other caller was saying, everybody's green, and we're all the same and all that stuff. What I learned is everybody was green, but the brothers were still brothers. Like brothers took up for me when I needed some help, but nobody took up for the brothers. You know what I'm saying? Now, the white guys would see that as racism. And what I learned later in life, when I moved to the ghetto, I lived in a neighborhood that was 80% black, 20% white. And what I learned was in the black community, there's a leadership that's unseen and unheard of. You don't see that in the media. You don't see that on TV. You know what I'm saying? Black folks looked out for me. Like, we went on a cruise for 7 days and I left my front door open. When I came home, nothing was touched in my house. I never had any violence or any problems because black folks looked out for me because they knew if something happened to the white boy, we're all in trouble. And that's the truth of it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. That's one way to look at it.
So what I'm getting at, what I'm getting at is what's not talked about in our society is that there's a leadership in the black community that you don't see on TV, that you don't see in the media in the United States. It's not talked about. And that's what I experienced was black folks looking out for me, looking out for each other. And really a lot of the problems that in our society stem from a lack of leadership. I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Interesting take, brother. Interesting take. Give it up for my caller, man. That's an interesting way to look at it. Wow. Now, I'm trying to think back, brother, because everyone has a unique perspective and experience, and it sounds like you're giving us the benefit of your personal experience. So, yeah, I want to say that's valid. I think that there are, I don't know if it's something happens to the white boy. We all in trouble. It sounds a little bit not exactly the way that I would interpret it. But I will say that there is a certain amount of protection. Okay, so this is what I saw coming up, okay? What I saw, brother, is a little bit different. What I saw was a cohesiveness in our neighborhoods where we protected one another. And they saw you as part of them. You may be the white guy, but you're part of the family. And the family protects the family. Too often, I don't see that reciprocated with white folks in general in my time and places that I've lived and jobs that I've held. If we had a white guy at the job and it was predominantly black, that's our white guy. That's our guy. That's our, and we protect him as such. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that doesn't exist. But see, the problem that we have is there's so much racism that historically, when it's reverse and there are a lot of white people and there's a couple brothers or a brother, there's a price to pay. The white people will make that white guy or the white guys that befriend the black guy pay a price for befriending the black guy. Get what I'm saying? And that's not the case in Black America, but all the time, well, not all the time, but very often, bro, there is a misconception, very prevalent misconception about how black people and white people interact. And to my experience, it's more similar to what you've experienced. In my neighborhood, it was predominantly black. There were some cool white guys. They were our friends. We were friends. We were a crew. We went out. The white guys talked to the cops first. you know, and but we were all tough. And a couple of those white guys, like, and I don't know if you've heard this, but Dave Chappelle has a skit about it. The white guys in those groups, the ones that fought first, they would fight first. I mean, just wanting to prove that they could fight. Like, calm down, man. Maybe we could talk our way out of this. And damn, Jimmy done socked this guy in the face. He done uppercut this man. Come on, man. Why you do that, man? We could have talked our way out of that. We didn't have to fight these guys. But he just got so used to people thinking he couldn't fight because he was the white guy. He's just like, I want to knock people out. So, shout out to my man Jimmy. Jimmy knows who I'm talking about. Jimmy knows. Jimmy's a very respectable person now with his kids. He went back to white America. He got rid of that black girl he had a kid with, went back to being white. But see, grandma was like, you need to get over this black thing you're doing unless you don't want to inherit this money. Okay? That's what happened to Jimmy. So even in that circumstance, there is a penalty for white folks who ride with black people. And I'm not saying this holds true in all cases. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, in my experience, what sticks out to me is more in line with what you just expressed, brother. Okay? I'm gonna keep it moving, man. What a conversation tonight, man. We getting into it tonight, ain't we? Damn. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna go to 570. 570, you are live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, this is Ike. How you doing, brother? Keep getting the word out. You're the best. I'm so happy to be able to talk to you.
Ike, what's up, Ike?
Last conversation.
Yes.
Not much, brother. Living the dream. But, I really relate to that last, what you were just talking about. I'm that white guy that was always sticking up for my brothers because the way I was raised, an attack on one is an attack on all. Nobody comes against my brothers, because, we're family. We don't look at each other. We don't see a skin. I'm so mixed. I'm all mixed up, but I'm white, black, Native American, all kinds of, Heinz 57.
Okay.
But I was raised, also I'm Jewish too. So my buddy used to call me everything Hitler hates. So, the first step is everybody just looking at the way the system of the media and everything is. It's divisive division. They want to drive a wedge between us. They want us separate and arguing about things that are insignificant when there's solutions all around us that people just completely disregard. Well, with healthcare, technically, there's already a system in place right now because I'm in a union, and the way unions do their healthcare is that you pay into it hourly. So each hour you're putting money into your healthcare, and then you're banking months, sometimes years of coverage. So if you get laid off, you don't lose your coverage, which makes sense. Because if you need to get another job, it's I got a year or 2 years banked in healthcare. I can take off, I can get education, and I can do what I need to do and not have to worry about healthcare, running out. But this is a system that's already in place that we could utilize. Imagine if every employer did that. There wouldn't be big gaps in this way, because the whole partisan politics with it is they're oh, the Republicans will never vote on it and the Democrats will never vote on it. It's well, neither of you are voting on it, so let's utilize the system that's currently in place and just start going with that. There's all kinds of other things, because I'm in the electrical generation industry, and basically all the generators that create all the electricity, the entire power plant is to run the generator. So the thing is I know what it takes to put energy on the grid. And actually, you can harness all kinds of things that are already in place, to create electricity and provide it for municipalities so people don't have blackouts and we don't have to have the energy problem that we currently have. There's technologies right now where solar roadways, not only is the road getting powered by sun, also by people driving over it, the kinetic energy of them moving over the tiles, just like the clubs. Clubs have these tiles where people walk over them and it's generating electricity for the building. So we can have roads that not only are creating electricity from solar, they're also creating electricity from the momentum of the vehicles moving off the top of the surface.
Wow.
And at the same time, you drop the electrical lines in the ground, because if we're really going to do our infrastructure, let's do it right, you know? Like, let's not do it in a garbage way. So what happens now, instead of having them putting more blacktop up that goes to garbage in 5 years and they got to rip it up and go to put more blacktop on. No, we don't have to live like this. We can take our infrastructure and build it to where, like, one of these tiles goes bad, you don't have to shut down the road for months and then resurface it. You just pull that tile and replace it and you're done. Another thing is they're self-heated. So you don't have the salt that is causing the corrosion to your vehicle that is costing you on an arm and leg, you know, because, you know, the constant preventative maintenance that you have to do. So your vehicles are getting less deteriorated. So not only is your road now providing electricity for your municipality, it's making it safer. If there's something on the road ahead of you, the road will tell you to slow down, that there's an obstruction ahead. And hey, this technology is already out. Let's utilize it. And when we rebuild our infrastructure, like, another thing too with this as well is that cars that are electric, they can charge while they're driving. You can charge while you're driving. Imagine that. So also, you don't have to get rid of the petrol, like gas vehicles, because the gas vehicles are just going to be generating electricity like crazy because they're not consuming the electricity. The electric vehicles can Bluetooth to it and charge while they're driving. And now we're getting into, like, not only are you saving money on all the salt and all the damage to the vehicles, you're also saving money on the repairs. And your road is becoming an electrical generation device in your municipality and place. And if we're going to live in the future, like with all the power lines underground, if there's a storm where trees or anything fall, it's not going to affect them. It's not going to affect it in any way. And like, I'm trying to get in all kinds of engineering forms because we're rebuilding our infrastructure anyway. Let's do it right. Let's be smart about it. And let's do it to where we all benefit. Because, you know, we can generate electricity in so many ways. So many ways. How many? Here's a question for everybody. Do you have to plug your car in when you drive it down the road? No. No, you don't, because there's this thing in it called an alternator.
Right.
It's already taking things that are within motion. All you do is slap it up to the belt. Boom, electricity, done. And
I like your solutions, brother Ike. I like your solutions, brother. I got to leave it there. But I'm very much interested to find out more about this electric generating roads. I like the idea. You know, you said the blacktop has to be resurfaced every 5 years. You're right. Well, maybe it requires resurfacing every 5 years. But the roads that we travel around here in Maryland and near the northern area of northern, Waldorf, Maryland, over in St. Charles and Prince George's County. Some of those roads, brother, we started naming the potholes. Oh, you done hit Larry. Man, I know you ain't ran over Larry. Brother, you done ran over Larry. That pothole been around since Big Larry used to live around here about 30 years ago. That same pothole. I mean, that's how intimately we become acquainted with our potholes here on certain roads like 220, 210 and 202, certain roadways. But I'm going to move it on to the next call, man. I appreciate the phone call, Ike. I got an 808 number, being patient. 808, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yo, Tim Black. It's William from Hawaii.
William, what's up, brother?
Tim, I had a big plan. I was going to go all Sophia on you and had all this Joe Biden information, and it got all derailed because I was listening to all your callers. You know, we've talked about it before, man. I spent most of my adult life in the military. In listening to the first two callers, the first two guys that were talking about the military, in both of them were spot on, like no question about it. When I first went in the military, now as we've discussed before, I'm not a young man like you. I'm mid-50s, comfortable with my age, losing the hair, but I'm still okay with it. Back in the mid-'80s, man, it was percentage-wise, there were far more Black and Latino individuals that were in the military than there are today. And I will tell you that there was extreme racism, especially because at that time it was pre-Panama, pre-Gulf War, all that stuff. And so, you know, we call that kind of service pogues. Those are pogues in the service. You sit in the back, you eat your pogey bait, and it's all, you know, politics within to get rank and to do this and to do that. But times progressed over, and you still always have, you know, you got to have your Pete Buttigieg's to like sign a piece of paper to decide how many sheets go to what company and who gets what. And you got to have your Tulsi Gabbards to sit in the rear and count out the numbers of X, Y, and Z. Oh, look, we lost a Jeep somewhere, blah, 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 blah. But then, and that's a whole part of the service, a big part of the service. But then you have like your combat frontline units. In those are two different universes. Like Pete Buttigieg could not walk down, couldn't walk down at Fort Lewis, couldn't walk down the street to 5th Group or the 75th Rangers, couldn't walk down that street without getting just absolutely destroyed. She would get in trouble if she got in shit with a private down those roads. And so the combat services, and generally, you know, you were talking about your dad and I will tell you, I spent a long time in the service, and I did not come out unscathed. And if it was not for my brothers that I met in the service that got out before me, I don't know how I would have made it outside of like that environment. I came out, I was so fucked up. You know, I walked out the day I got discharged. The last day I had to go see the doctor. I walked out with 60 milligram Oxycontin. Now, I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but that's what the dosage that I was taking, because I had a bad injury and lost one of my hands. So that's what they just like chuck you out on the street and they're like, okay, man. And, you know, they teach you to do all kind of awful things to other human beings. They don't teach you like how to, you know, talk somebody down or have a pleasant conversation or have, you know, just nonchalant chat about the weather. There's none of that. None of that exists. And if it wasn't for, and I mean, that's how I ended up on Hawaii. I had two different brothers that ended up in Hawaii. I went back to the mainland and was fucked up. Sorry for the language. Just was absolutely messed up. And they called me and brought me in and helped me get through these things. And now this is a confusing thought especially to a lot of white people, but I can love my country. I can root for the troops, man. There are times when I see things go down. There's a part of me that has guilt for not being able to go there, and it has nothing to do with, you know, an enemy or this, that, or the other. But you know, you kind of get this instinctual thing where you want to be with your brothers. You want to support your brothers all the time. And I've carried that. That's part of my genetics. That's part of my DNA. And there's no way to get out of it. And, you know, it's funny you were talking about I I think it was the last caller was talking about, getting along with people in the neighborhoods, this, that, and the other. And both of you discussing that are 100% right. Like, I've seen it where I have my oldest brother is from Morocco. His mother is Moroccan. And we both grew up in Detroit. And I walked around Detroit like I was the prince of the city only because my brother walked around telling people, please don't fuck with him. He's just an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. You know what I mean? In just having that one person to say, he's okay was good enough. But it's not an equal and vice versa situation. It does not exist going the other way. Not at all. Next time I call, I got all kind of good Joe Biden stuff. Maybe I'll email him to you. Like stuff I was shocked to hear. I'll email him to you, and you can go over it and see if it's anything interesting. But thanks a lot, brother. It's good night. Good night for calls. I got a little lost on that last call. I got to tell you, I know nothing about electricity, but otherwise, it's good to speak with you, man.
And you got it, Will. What's up, Will? Thank you so much for the phone call, brother. It's always fun, man. Damn, brother. And you know what? Part of the problem, I think, I don't think some of the people that call themselves like, I don't think some people understand. I don't want to label people, but when I sat at, so when I went to my father's, so I had two fathers, right? So there's a father I grew up with. That's my stepdad. He recently died back in October 2020. And but my biological dad, his family reached out to me when he passed away. They found me because I'm on the internet. And they did the guns and the salutes, and I have the folded flag here. They gave me the folded flag. And I don't think I don't know, man. Like, I can separate people that go to war from who they are as individuals from what America does. And I know they're a part of it, you know what I'm saying? But I do see the humanity of the people that serve. And I almost served. My mom would not sign the papers, and she refused to sign the papers. I was underage. I wasn't 18 yet. And I didn't want to hurt people that I didn't know. I was going to do computers and find a good job, and me and my friends were like, we're going to do computers, and one of my best friends, Dirk, was going to do computers and get into the computer industry, and we didn't have money for college. We were poor. So, like, I don't know. Sometimes I hear people talk, and I think they mean well. They got all these very cut and dry, like, labels in the way that they diss people. As if, I don't know, just really strange. And they don't take into account individual experiences and motivations and them being screwed over too. I met guys who came out of, like, went in the Army, for instance, and came back totally, like, fucked up, man. Not just for what they had to do, but they were sold a bill of goods about what it would be like. And it was nothing like they were told it was going to be like. But they didn't know that till they went in. And it's a system, right? It's a system, and it lies, and it chews up, and it spits out people. But the people themselves may not be the blame for the system, right? So I get that. And then I do also get that there are others who are in charge of that system. You know what I'm saying? And I get that. I get the animosity there. I just try to choose my words, and I'll choose my words about how I look at these things, because I realize I'm the same way about gun ownership. I know people that own guns and have owned guns, not because they think they're badasses who want to own an armament of guns, but they actually literally want to protect themselves. There's some people who own guns because they like guns. And we got people that talk about people that own guns in a way that's really like, and I know there's people that won't let you criticize anything about guns. Anything you say about guns, they get hyper upset. But I feel like there's some people that go too far one way, too far the other way. And I know people on both sides of the spectrum. I don't get why it's got to be either this way or that way. Don't you know that everyone's not a mass shooter waiting to happen? That everyone's not this crazy motherfucker that's running around threatening people with guns. You do realize that exists, right? So sometimes the conversations get so crazy. And like I said before about the algorithms and online, I don't think most people feel the way that the internet portrays us to feel. At least in my experience, right? I don't think most people are these. I don't even know if these people are real. Real talk, I'm not sure that the people that have the most to say on the internet are actually people at all. Some of them are bots, and some of them are saying what they think they're supposed to say in order to get paid or whatever they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. But these are real people. And if they are real people, they're real people who have not lived a life. Because you could be in a bad situation and still love the people that were with you that got you through that bad situation, right? And that's what brothership and camaraderie is, and I would think sisterhood is, and it's sort of like a support group, so to speak. And I don't think people really understand it because they haven't been through it. And I'm going to go on. Let me move on. 832. 832, you're alive. What's your name? What's your comment?
How you doing there, King?
What's going on there?
King?
Hey.
Yeah, the lane. I don't know much, man. Shit. I consider you the most dangerous progressive on the radio right now, man. Shoot, even if it's YouTube.
I appreciate it.
Nah, I appreciate you. I've been watching you for a long time. I love how the way that you support the right thing, try to do it the right way without being apologetic about it. You know what I mean? And I would love to be able to see you a bit more on a national stage, but I don't think they're ready for you.
It is what it is, brother. It is what it is. I appreciate you, though, man.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually called for a reason. I called for a reason because you actually had a guy that was on earlier. I'm not sure if his name was Tim or whatever, but he was talking about first dealing with how the way you can electrify roads and everything. And that's actually true. I've seen it. There's actually a system that's like a row of bars that they have. And then what you do, run across the bars, and it creates the pressure that actually generates energy. It's pretty much like a service thing on the side of it. Me, myself, I'm a networker. I do a lot of networking and everything. I would love to be able to send you that information. I also have my own IG Live series that I would love to be able to have you on as a guest. But first, dealing with everything that you're doing, keep doing it, keep adding value to everybody's journey. And like I say, I know that every now and then, people try to put a little bit of salt in your conversation because sometimes I'll be listening. I think that's a troll. I think that's a troll. They want to see how far they can go before they troll out on you and everything. But other than that, keep on doing what you're doing. I just got finished on a show earlier tonight, so I'm kind of tired. But I said I got to hop on 10 Black if I get an opportunity, King.
Yes, sir.
So I'll DM you and you take care of be on the Slim College, okay, King?
You got it, fam. You do the same, King. I appreciate it. Give it up for my caller, y'all.
Take care. Peace and power, brother.
You got it, brother. Peace and power to you. That's what it is, brother. That's what it is. Wow, man. That's a great way to end the show, man. That's my last call in the queue. And that's a great way to end the show. I appreciate the positive vibes, brother. And, someone recently, a very positive person commented. And they said, Tim, you should work with these great people on YouTube, like these other great people that are doing things on YouTube. And they listed all these people that have shows. And most of them were pretty heavy hitters with a black following that reach a lot of people with their message. And the commenter said, Tim, if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with others or go together. That's it, go together. I thought that was a great comment, a great statement, a great quote. One of the things I run into is a lot of people are very territorial, brother. And I didn't want to say it to him because he was so positive, and I know he's doing it. His heart's in the right place. But it's hard to find people that are evenly yoked, so to speak, where people don't feel like you're being taken advantage of, and no one's trying to take advantage of the other person, and no one's trying to be smooth or trying to run a game. It's just crazy what it is, you know? But this brother, for instance, who called up, I appreciate that. And I appreciate the spirit. And I look forward to getting a message from you and seeing if we can somehow, coordinate something in order to combine our forces or combine a message and do some additional things. I try to keep an open mind, but it's very difficult, very difficult nowadays to do that. But when you have a great show like we did tonight, man, well, hey, I came on late tonight, close to midnight. I'm supposed to be out by 11. The fact that we had any audience, whatever, is a gift. And then we had an audience that was informative, on point, and very meaningful. So that's a lot, guys. So give it up for everybody who called in tonight. Yes. Don't forget, guys, go to TimBlackPaws.com. Follow the podcast. Also, Friday, we have phone lines open again. And, be a part of this. Tomorrow, on my YouTube channel, there'll be a lot of new content coming out tomorrow and Thursday because I have so much to catch up on, which is part of the reason why I've been really burning the oil working on video content editing. So I have a lot to do, but there's a lot more content. When you do like 3 or 4 stories each show, those videos need to come out individually. And I'm behind, actually, in putting out content. So I got to get caught up, guys. So tomorrow I'll be putting out content from the day before in pieces that people will actually consume. So that's part of it. But you already know that. You know the struggle. You know the struggle. You know what I'm going through or how difficult it is to do this. So I'm going to give a shout out to Mrs. Black. Give a shout out to Mrs. Black. And also, I want to give a shout out to all my moderators who come through in the chat, who held things down, who support the show. I want to give a shout out to my people on Patreon, my people on GoFundMe. Oh, and also let me give a big shout out to the great people that have written reviews on my Apple Podcast page. And if you could write a review for the podcast on another website, that's fine too. I just don't know if they have a review section on some of these other websites. But I think Stitcher has a review section. Anywhere you get the podcast, if you write a review, I will send you a cut the check wristband. So anywhere you can write a review for the podcast to let the world know, hey, check out this podcast. If you email that to clientcare@timblacktv.com, clientcare@timblacktv.com, you send us your address, we will send you 2 wristbands. No charge. We'll handle postage. It's just my way of giving back. And frankly, I like the wristbands. We came up with a good idea, and it's good to spread awareness and build some solidarity behind something we all care about, which is justice. That's all. Here it is, guys. Great calls, man. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing the show. Tell a friend about it or tell 2 friends, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Now, let's go to Super Chat. Make sure I get the comments in. So we got Will in the house. Context matters. Will says, all my Johnsons, give what you can. Thank you. William McGregor, sorry, Tim. RBG didn't go down White Mountain. We'll take a bus to Bigot Island. She skied down Mount Saltine and took the SS Minnow on a 3-hour tour, a 3 white power tour. Damn. A 3-hour tour. Belky Hernandez. People want to talk about international stuff instead of racism and stuff because they would have to do something. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I noticed that. A lot of people looking for a way. It's very disingenuous, very sneaky, and very slick. Tim Black talks about reparations, the Black agenda, so a couple people kind of chimed in. They shut up real quick, though. So there you go. That's how you find out if they stop talking about it. I tell you, man. People told me, they said, Tim, all they're going to do is co-opt what you're doing for a couple seconds and try to steal the viewership that way. And they did. They did try to do that. But they won't consistently cover it, so they won't. It won't work for them. Will again. Will's in the house. Will, what's up, brother? I appreciate you. Great show, Johnson. That's because of callers, brother. I can't script this out. Callers, they called up and made this show important. Give what you can, Wolfpack. Robin M. Donation by Robin for the Black Magic Pothole. Yo, the Black Magic Pothole. Yes, it's a thing, Johnson. Those potholes are something. They're like magic. They just show up. Crazy. Wow. And look, it's crazy on Apple Podcasts to write a review because you got to scroll to the center of the page, and then there's a section for it. It's like, it's not at the top, it's not at the bottom. I had to make a video for people to be able to find it. Like, so, you're right, it's hard to find where the right one. I guess they wanted to make it difficult because people were padding the numbers. I just want my people to know where to go. It's not like, I'm having bots write them. Real people. Like, recommend a friend. They do the same thing on every other website. Recommend something, share this, tell a friend. That's all I'm doing. But I guess there are people who have gamed the system, so they try to make it difficult, it seems. They don't make it easy. Wow. Wow, so we got a lot of people came through tonight. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We'll be back soon. You know where to find us. Be good, y'all. Be safe. And remember, cut the check. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the heads on cable news. Do they know you? Sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on Black issues, and when they do, it's all fluff. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining, on point. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. Visit www.timblacktv.com today. Get Black breaking news, politics, culture from someone you can trust. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.
Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to TimBlackTV.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.